And that's the ultimate reason why she failed her max lift. But if you watch this video until the end, you won't make the same mistake. Damn. Yo, what's a crack? My happy face pullers, your personal trainer T-Talks, changing people's lives for the better through strength and fitness. So today's video was inspired by an anecdote that recently happened in the gym where I train. So I was doing my back squat when this girl came over and started setting up at the power rack next to me. I was like, what are you up to? She told me she was going to test her 1 rep max in the front squat at the start of her workout. Time went by, everything was feeling great, I was getting through my sets, but I couldn't help but notice her preparation for her 1 rep max on the front squat. She kicked things off with a 10-minute full body general warm-up, good stuff. But when she got to the ramp-up phase in the front squat, she wasted so much of her energy in multiple unnecessary repetitions close to her target weight. And I couldn't believe my eyes. I didn't understand why she was doing that. And for the sake of full disclosure, let me just say that this girl was in good shape and she was clearly not a beginner. Her technique in the front squat was on point, but her approach to hit a PR in this lift was strategically very poor. She already had the physical strength to reach the number she was after, but she didn't because she tired herself out during the ramp-up phase. If you're still watching this video, please do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. I've noticed that many of you haven't subscribed yet. It's free, and you'll have a better chance to be shown more of my videos moving forward by the almighty YouTube algorithm. I invoke the YouTube algorithm. Alright, what she could have done differently and why? Well, this might sound a little bit too obvious, but when you are ramping up for a 1 rep max, you do it for a 1 rep max. Once you start doing the lift you want to max out on, you need to be very mindful of your energy expenditure leading up to your maximum effort. If you spend too much stamina to get you to your target number, you won't be able to display maximum performance in the given lift. Generally speaking, I wouldn't recommend doing more than 1 repetition when you're working with intensities higher than 60 to 70% if you truly want to test your 1 rep max. Let's assume for the sake of simple numbers that you want to hit 100 kg in the front squat to set a new PR. To be entirely honest with you, I've never tested my 1 rep max on the front squat. So far, I've only used this exercise as a supplemental lift to my back squat for high repetitions. If 100 kg was indeed my 1 repetition max, then it's okay to do 6 to 8 reps with just the bar. That's only 20% of the 1 repetition max. The resistance is very light relative to your strength level, and the multiple repetitions give your body an opportunity to ingrain the specific movement pattern of the front squat without getting fatigued. Just practicing the technique. Once you start adding some extra weight to the bar, in the particular case of my demonstration here, we're looking at a 20 kilo increase, I don't see the need of doing a similar number of reps with essentially double the weight. So you see me do 3 to 4 reps, double the intensity, half the repetitions. Now I'm going to throw in the bar another 10 kg to lift a total of 60 kg in the front squat. In theory, if 100 kg is my estimated 1 repetition max, 60 kilos would correspond to an intensity percentage of 60. Now at this point, I don't want to accumulate any unnecessary fatigue. The only thing I need to focus on is the technique of the lift and the speed at which I perform the exercise. Any additional repetitions here will not improve the performance of what I'm about to do in a few minutes. From now on, I'm only going to do sub-maximal singles to get ready for my maximal single in the front squat. I make sure to take plenty of time to rest for the next jumping weights, and then I repeat what I just did. 1 sub-maximal repetition at 80% of my 1 rep max. Rest and repeat. Same protocol. Don't change it if it ain't broken. 90 kg now, complete. Rest and repeat. Now, an interesting fact about the front squat. I don't actually know what my 1 rep max is. I made this whole video under the premise that 100 kg is my 1 repetition max, just to have easy to follow numbers and percentages. So you're about to see whether I'm able to lift this much weights in an exercise that I haven't really trained since before the pandemic. Are you excited? Great. Let's see how things turn out. Well, there it is, great! Regardless of the weight this girl was working with, she didn't hit her number because she did way too much work before testing her front squat. The one lesson I want you to take away from this video is to be very strategic with your ramp up and rather conservative with the energy leading up to your max lift attempt. Hey, you thought this video was over? Think again. After hitting 100 kg on the front squat, I kept going. I might as well test my true 1 rep max on this lift, I thought. So I added another 10 kg to the bar and I got to work. Please do not take this part of the video as me bragging about how much I can front squat. It's not really that much by YouTube standards. The point of me showing you my true 1 repetition max is to share the value of maxing out on compound lifts. Something that people should do more often in the gym. Because as you'll see, there are plenty of things that we can learn about ourselves from this experience. Okay, so obviously we're getting very close to my true 1 repetition max. This was the first rep with ugly technique and slow speed. But I felt I could still go a little bit heavier than that, so I threw in another extra 5 kg to the bar. It's time to try 115 kg. After all, despite the grindy struggle for a couple of seconds, I'm able to complete the lift. The true value of analyzing this lift in depth is that it's going to expose my weakness in the kinetic chain, and that's great because that is going to give me the direction I need to aim at moving forward. My knee extensors are weak relative to my hip extensors. You can clearly see it in that my knees shift backward instead of extending upward. This is because my body wants to rely more heavily on the strongest part in the kinetic chain, in my particular case the hip extensors, the erectors, hamstrings, and glutes. This over-reliance on my posterior chain over my knee extensors is the first link in a chain of compensatory events that happens thereafter. Because my quadriceps are not strong enough to extend at the knees, I have to good morning the way up. Thus, the inability to maintain an upright torso. The excessive rounding at the upper back is not because of a weak core or a weak upper body. If anything, my core and upper back muscles are strong enough to prevent the load from falling forward in a very disadvantageous angle. Don't get me wrong, I'm really glad about the PR, but I'm even happier to confirm that I'm doing things right in my current training. I knew about this quadriceps weakness and I've been addressing this issue with high repetition back squats and front-loaded Bulgarian split squats in the previous mesocycle. And now my leg training, or rather the knee extending part of my lower body training, revolves around movements that really emphasize knee extension, like plaid squats and no momentum high step-ups. Alright people, I really hope you found value in today's video. If you learned something new or you think that this information can help others make better gains in the gym, please give me a massive thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I'm out of here, but I'll be back before you know it. In the meantime, stay fit, stay strong, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more gains. Peace!